right, hello, hello. We are back on Shuten Order. For those of you who are really interested, today is, what is it? It is January 11th, so I think I said Happy New Year last time, but if I didn't, Happy New Year. Obviously, this is going to be, I think in March by the time you guys see this, um, so maybe that's not as relevant, but all my New Year's blessings to you. We are back on the Ministry of Justice route. I'll be completely honest, there's too many characters. Like, not for the story and like how to tell the story, but for me to remember for recap. So, what are we doing? So, we made a deal with Kishiru Inugami to basically become this witness to this will reading. When we went to go read the will, we found that the youngest son of this, like, he's like a pharmaceuticals exec and like had something to do with rare metals. He was found dead. So we then decided to try to defend the poor maid that got piled on, and the entire family and everyone sort of went against us. So in order to get some legitimacy back, we said that we, as a reminder, we're pretending to be a PI. We said that we would figure out who the killer was. So in that, we sort of looked around, talked to people, tried to figure out what was going on. Didn't really find anything. We've got a couple of weird pieces of evidence, but quite honestly, we don't have anything that is currently like North Star pointing. We know that the youngest son and kind of all of the sons, it kind of seems like, are involved in selling grass, which just seems to be the modern day equivalent of marijuana, but what do I know? And so, like, there's some stuff happening under the table. The middle son died. I cannot remember what his name is. I remember the youngest is like Seizo or something. But I don't remember what the middle son is. He was found dead in the morning of the second day. And so the room that he was found dead in is the library, which is right next to the maid's room. So once again, she got accused, and we decided that we were going to investigate and try to figure out what happened. We found some stuff with Inugami, but currently nothing that's going to tell us who exactly the culprit was. So at this point, Inugami wants to do the second day of will reading. I think we only get 3 days of this, so hopefully the pieces start coming together. Let's get started. Then the second Kukuri family inheritance meeting will begin. I, Inugami Kishiru of the Ministry of Justice, shall act as the meeting's moderator. I am impartial in this matter, and will only lend my ear to the truth. When this meeting adjourns, I will make a final decision, so I encourage cordial debate. Oh, something that we figured out last time, though, that seems like it's going to be relevant is whoever the killer is gets struck from being an inheritor. So that's one of the reasons why the eldest son and his wife are trying to pin it on the servant, the maid, because if they can prove that she did it, then they will inherit her share, because as a reminder, he split it amongst his sons and this maid that seemed to be a somewhat incompetent maid. Like, I thought that they were just making fun of her and, you know, being normal rich people, but she doesn't actually seem to be a great maid from some of the context clues that we have, so there's something going on here. Let us begin.
There is but one topic at hand. There are some among you not worthy of the Kukuri family inheritance. Yori Mizuno, it's you.
And how is she not worthy of the inheritance?
She murdered Tsukijiro, middle son, the middle brother. I need to figure out which way we're going, whether we're talking son or brother. We're gonna go with brother. She murdered him to bump up her portion of the inheritance, thus making her a heretic. Banish her.
I haven't done anything.
At this rate, Mizuno will be made the culprit.
She didn't do it. There's multiple pieces of evidence to back that up.
I will say, I didn't think about this before, but the way that I've split this, where we start with the family meeting and then do an investigation, there's been some time, right? There's been, I think, a week since the last time I played this, so we'll see how much I remember. All right, we have an evidence puzzle, though.
During the crime, her situation and the situations of the people nearby. Put it together and prove that Mizuno couldn't have killed Tsukijiro.
All right. So what was Mizuno doing at the time of the incident?
When the gunshot sounded, what was Mizuno doing? That's a good question. Hopefully I have...
Mizuno's alibi seems to be a good one. Mizuno was at the garden feeding the koi when she heard the gunshot. That seems reasonable. All right.
She was at the pond in the garden. She couldn't shoot Tsukijiro.
All right.
And now we've unlocked. Yay.
All right. What is the testimony of someone who was nearby at the time of the incident?
Wait. With her testimony alone, it's just going to be denied as a lie. There should be other testimonies that back this piece up. Somebody near the crime scene said something curious. Let's see.
I'm going to guess it's not him. Let's see. That's Seizo. Inugami's testimony. Damon. Must be Miyabi. Let's see. He woke up at 6 and was in his room until 7 when he heard a gunshot, but he knows if somebody walks by his room, so...
In order to get to the library, they must pass Shiratori's room, but I have Shiratori's testimony that no one passed. Mizuno didn't go to the library. Got it. From these testimonies, the conclusion that we can draw is this.
All right. We did it.
When the gunshot went off, she was feeding the koi. It couldn't have been her.
She's the one saying that. She could be lying. Strike that. She's undoubtedly lying.
No, it's not a lie. At 6 a.m., Dr. Shiratori was already awake, going through his routine. If someone passed his room, he would have heard the floor creaking. It's not possible to reach the library without going down that hall. And I have his testimony that no one went down it.
What? Is that true?
Yes, I did say that. So Miss Mizuno's alibi is true, and she couldn't have been at the scene of the crime.
Well, that's only proof that she didn't go down the hall. But I saw it. The crime scene wasn't a sealed room. The door was open. If you say she was outside, then she went around the back and shot from the window. Isn't that right, Mizuno?
Fired from outside. I hadn't even thought of that. That's true. It could have been done from the outside, too. Wait, if the shot was fired from outside, then the scene would be different. This is obviously inconsistent with that truth. The piece proving that is...
All right, what do we have? All right, so it's clearly not the irrelevant corpse. Him being shot in his right eye. I mean, there's nothing that says it couldn't be if he was turned around, right? His clothes being torn as if they were caught on something, I mean, also doesn't preclude that. That revolver, when the body was discovered, the door was locked from the inside. That... I mean, that doesn't preclude it. And the gun was found on the floor of Mizuno's room. But if the doctor could have heard anytime someone passed by, then if he was killed on the outside, then how did the gun make it into Mizuno's room? Because that was close. We're going to go with this one. Nope, apparently not. That's not it. How is Tsukitiro's body positioned? Okay, apparently we don't think he could turn. What's important here is the crucial point about Tsukitiro's Kukuri's body is we're going to go with the body orientation because cause of death doesn't make any difference. That's it. What's important is the direction his body fell in. Tsukitiro was shot in the right eye. The bullet didn't pierce through, so we can say he had to be shot from the front. If the victim was facing the window at the time of the gunshot, then he would have fallen face up towards the wall opposite the window. But when he was found, his head was pointed towards the window. So he couldn't have been shot from the window. Okay. I would like to speak. Go ahead. There is something I was wondering about. Dr. Shiratori stated that he could tell if someone passed in front of his room, but I absolutely would. I would hear the footsteps. That statement feels off. Oh? And why is that? If that is true, then how did the victim, Kishiru, enter the library? Oh, we actually know this one. Dr. Shiratori said that no one passed down the hall. But the truth is that Kishiru died in the library. So what I'm trying to say is, Dr. Shiratori's testimony is unsuitable evidence. Oh, so you are implying I'm a liar then? No, simply that you may not have noticed someone go down the hall. But the fact that you may not have noticed makes your testimony faulty. So there could be the possibility you didn't notice the perpetrator as well. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put this guy's voice, and it's just gonna stay inconsistent. Old men are clearly not my specialty. Did Shiratori not notice Tsukitiro pass down the hall? I guess not. This piece proves that. Alright, what do we have? Book, the Derringer, the bookmark string. I mean, a pair of shoes seems like a really good. What's important here is, let's see. We're gonna say the shoes outside the window. That's it. The shoes were outside the window, so Tsukitiro's shoes were laying outside the library window. He most likely came in through the window, not the hall. So this would speak against Dr. Shiratori's testimony being faulty. Tsukitiro came in from outside? He was seen going out to the garden by Miss Mizuno at around 6. That testimony is false to begin with. No, at the same time, Tsukitiro showed up on the greenhouse's security camera. He appeared to have some reason to go to the greenhouse. There's one thing about that bothering me. Go ahead, Shiratori. You may speak. Mr. Witness Detective? If you check the security footage, there should be a bit of truth you picked up on. A bit of truth? Oh, you mean... The bit of truth shown on the security footage was this is where having a week between this makes it hard. Okay. Let's see. He wasn't shown leaving. We're gonna go with that. Tsukitiro wasn't shown leaving the greenhouse. Yes, I just checked for myself too. For some reason, he was shown entering the greenhouse, but not leaving. Also, I believe you already know this, but there's no way to leave the greenhouse other than the automatic door in the front. How do you interpret this oddity? If he had never stepped 1 foot out of the greenhouse, it would flip the whole case upside down, don't you think? That would make the maid's alibi irrelevant. She could be the perpetrator. So it was Mizuno. Explain that, detective. If you can't prove this, then it would mean she did it. Well?
All right, let's figure this out.
How did Kishiru head to the manor without showing up on the security footage? This is the main issue with this case. But I should reach the answer by carefully putting the gathered pieces together.
All right, what do I got? What was the other item Kishiru left behind? So during the investigation, we found an article left behind by Kishiru.
Something that shouldn't have been seen normally. That has to be a clue to solving the mystery.
Okay. What was it? Oh, it must be the thread that got caught in the hedge.
For some reason, a thread the same color as Kishiru's clothes was behind the greenhouse.
Okay. So next, what is the proof that the fabric fibers belong to Kishiru?
The information needed to prove this fabric was from Kishiru is
it his clothes? Because that seems logical.
What's important here is...
Let's see, the important aspect of his clothes is that the hem is ripped.
There's no doubt. That torn part got caught on the hedge behind the greenhouse. So, Kishiru was walking behind the greenhouse for some reason.
All right, what is this, a 4-part? Okay, which entrance did he use?
If there was a back house to the greenhouse there,
Back door to the greenhouse there, I can read.
then he could secretly get out. The door Kishiru used was...
All right, so if he used the manual handle, that's just for the automatic door. The automatic door has the surveillance camera, so that can't be it. And these two aren't in the thing. We're going to say whatever this lighting system is. No, not it.
No, that's not it.
Okay. Okay, so maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is it the manual handle? No. Which entrance are we talking about? If there was a back door to the greenhouse there, then he could secretly get out. The door he used was... Alright, so it's not these two. But if no one could enter or exit without being seen by the security camera, he couldn't use that one, and also that's in the front. But why would it matter that the... We're going to try the library window. No? Okay. We're going to fail this. Holy shit. Alright, so the only other thing we've got is the automatic door. I don't see why the camera footage would be it. Alright. I don't know how we're putting this together.
There was only one door to the greenhouse, the automatic one. If that's the case, he couldn't have left through the automatic door.
Well, yes, that's the problem. We just went over this. Oh, it's a 5-parter. Okay, this is going great. Okay, how did he exit the greenhouse via the auto door?
But there's only the door facing the garden. There isn't one to the back. So how did he get out through the back?
Is it the manual handle? That just says it opens it manually, but...
Or is it the lighting system that we don't know what it's for? No. No, we've lost everyone's trust. Okay. You can't get there by using this. Maybe there's some kind of special trick? No, it's fine. There was that greenhouse system that I couldn't figure out. I don't know how I was supposed to put this together. It's no good, I don't know. All right, let's restart this. Okay. Is something the matter, Mr. Sumobe? What's the pathetic look? I don't want to see something so gross. Some detective? Useless. Leave this island now. I might have overestimated your abilities. I don't know why we're going over something that we already know, but... All right, let me restart that. And so I was let go of my detective and witness duties and forced off the island. All right, let's retry that. I don't know how far back it's going to make me go. Oh, we're going to go back to the original meeting. That's totally fine. Is there a skip button? All right. Aha, there is. Found it. All right. So, please excuse me as I get us back to what we need to be doing. Let's see, what was she doing? Alright. Alright. What was that? We're gonna go with the corpse. Corpse because the body's oriented the wrong direction. Oh, I do have to hold that down. We're going with the library window to prove. And the shoes be outside the window. Yada, yada, yada. I will say I've gotten some of these people's voices wrong, but it's fine. Alright. Let's try this again. Okay, what was the other item he left behind? We got that one. It was the thread that got caught in the hedge. That's how we can place him there. What's the proof? It's that the hem is torn. Which would be where that thread comes from. Alright, here is where I got caught up, right? He used the automatic door despite the fact that we just argued about the fact that he couldn't have done the automatic door without being seen by the surveillance camera. Alright, how did he exit it? We're gonna say the lighting system somehow. Having something we don't know what it is feels like you don't know what it is, so you don't know if it opens up a secret door or whatever. It's fine, whatever. By using that system, by using the lighting system. Oh shit, I don't know. All right, we couldn't find a door. So I don't know that we can say that a secret back door opens, but I feel like if the entire greenhouse rotates, someone would have fucking seen it. Like, I don't remember where I can see my evidence. This feels so stupid to say that the greenhouse rotates, but maybe? No traces. There, apparently, we can show traces of the greenhouse rotating. I don't think we do unless I've forgotten something. The entire greenhouse rotates. How do you keep that secret? That's it. If there's no automatic door on the back, then you simply move the door itself. The greenhouse must be made to do that. How is that logical? By the lighting system on the console. The lighting system must be to efficiently let sunlight into the greenhouse. It's to rotate the greenhouse, letting in the most sunlight for the season or time. What proof is there that the automatic door could be used when the lighting system is on? But could you really get out through that door with the greenhouse rotated? If you can't leave until the greenhouse returns to the front, this theory won't work. No, that couldn't be because of what was written there. Shit. What was written there? It was written on the handle, wasn't it? I can't see what the... Oh, wait, I can't see what the details are. A notice says, open using this handle in power outages and when the lighting system is active. Okay. There was a caution note near that handle. Open using this handle in power outages and when the lighting system is active. So when the greenhouse rotates, it is possible to go through that door. I feel like maybe if we're going to pitch that the greenhouse rotates, maybe we should have some evidence of that rather than just saying, well, we couldn't find a door, therefore the door must move. When the system is active, the automatic door most likely locks. So you would need to open the door manually with that handle. Got it. From these testimonies, the conclusion that we can draw is this. So, is there an... If it turns, then you would think that you would need a doorway on the other side, which you would think we would have noticed, right? Because, like, okay, so based on that diagram, and I know that it's no longer on, the original entrance is hidden because of the decontamination arch, which makes sense to me, right? But clearly there's a doorway there. If you flip that around, that's my issue, right? Is that clearly you'd need to see something on the outside that would show that that would be possible. But all right, I'm done arguing. Maybe it's rotated the greenhouse. Oh my god, and that's how we're going to say it? How would you? Yeah. Huh? The greenhouse rotates. What does that mean? That greenhouse has a lighting system. This lighting system does what its name implies, direct sunlight to the plants. Meaning the building itself can rotate 180 degrees. When this system is active, the automatic door is locked and you can't get in. However, if someone was already inside, they might end up trapped, so the door could be opened with the manual handle. I'm also trying to figure out... Okay, so you said it, right? And you'd want that on most of the time, because we're talking plants, and plants need sunlight, right? Why would it ever be off? Why would you have a certain... This greenhouse was created for this puzzle and not as an actual greenhouse, and I need to just accept that. If you open the door via the manual handle and exited with the greenhouse rotated, you could exit and go to the manor without being seen by the camera in the arch.
Lies! What proof could you have?
Oh, I have proof.
We don't have that much proof.
There was some fabric caught in the hedge where it would have rotated. This was from when Kishiro's clothes were caught and torn by the hedge branch. Why would he go to a place that no one ever goes near?
This is perfect proof he rotated the greenhouse and exited. Okay, you and I do not agree on what perfect proof is, but if they take it, we're gonna take it.
Wait, why would he go through all that trouble to get to the library? I want to hear a good reason for that.
Yeah, Kishiro's the victim here. Why would he be doing anything that suspicious?
That's most likely because
Kishiro's motive was... Okay. Gonna guess it's not to commit suicide. That doesn't make any sense. Killing Yoichi, he was nowhere near. Killing Mizuno is a possibility, right? He had an unshot gun, and we know that there's the peephole. So we're gonna go with killing Mizuno.
he probably was trying to use the greenhouse camera to make an alibi.
Alibi, I can read.
Alibi? By leaving a record of him entering the greenhouse at 6 and not exiting, he could have believed that there would be proof that he was in there the entire time. When in reality, he rotated the greenhouse, left, and headed to the library, with the intent to murder Miss Mizuno.
What?
Tsukishiro was attempting to murder Miss Mizuno using a gun. Yoichi, is it true that the gun in the library was from your father's room?
Yes.
Yesterday, I saw Tsukishiro leaving Kiyomasa Kukuri's room. He most likely took the gun then. There was a peephole made in the back of the library bookshelf. The peephole was bored into Miss Mizuno's room.
People? Really?
I saw it as well. There's no mistaking it. But Miss Mizuno was already in the garden at that time, so she avoided being killed. And then, Tsukishiro was in turn murdered by someone else. Wait a second. What you're saying doesn't make sense. He tried to kill Mizuno but was killed instead? Then wouldn't that make Mizuno the culprit?
Tsukishiro's murderer is... Look, I already have a conspiracy theory that she is actually behind all of it, but that everyone else is so incompetent at trying to pin it on her that she's going to walk away and get away with it. Also, I don't want to turn on her. Like, snitches get snitches get stitches. If she's covered her tracks that well...
No, that can't be. When the gun fired, Miss Mizuno was in the garden. That maid could just be saying that. Maybe she was actually in her room. No, there's no mistake that she wasn't in her room. Otherwise, she would have run into Mr. Shiratori when she left the room. True. She came down the hall from the opposite direction.
Then what? Tsukishiro was shot to death from an empty room?
Well... Shot to death from an empty room? Maybe we've made a grave mistake. What? What's up? What are you thinking? Could it be that you see it? The truth of this case? Yes.
I just got it. I didn't, so maybe I need to shut up and stop talking as much.
Who? Mizuno, right? Right? The one who shot Tsukishiro was...
Oh no. Oh no. Alright, so we've just established that it can't be Mizuno. Yoichi... I mean, it's a possibility. But the thing is that the door was locked from the inside. Meaning... And there's no way to open it otherwise, right? We had to kick it down. Meaning... that nobody... Right? If they'd crossed into her room... they would have been heard by Shiratori. It had to have been like I mean, obviously, I don't know that we're talking about a timer, but, you know, some sort of mechanical contraption.
It wasn't anybody.
What are you saying? That he was shot despite nobody being there?
No, the evidence we've collected so far reveals the truth. Nobody pulled the trigger. It was nobody because it was a trap.
A trap?
Tsukishiro was shot dead by a trap set up in advance. Although I'm sure a trap meant to shoot someone in the face is hard to imagine. Do you have an idea of what such a trap would be? A trap. How much of it can I envision?
Oh no. All right.
The trap that took Tsukishiro's life. If I can line up all the pieces I've gathered, I should be able to see the trap. Let's go over each weapon and the state of the murder scene.
All right. We've got another 5. Okay, what was the weapon used to kill him? We know that. It's the Derringer. Right? Nope, that's a book. There were signs that it had been fired. He was very clearly shot in the head, so that's what it had to be.
He was shot dead with a gun, and only the Derringer had traces of being fired. So it must have been the Derringer that killed him.
All right. Where was the gun planted?
The trap would have needed to be set up in somewhere in advance. Where would the gun have been placed?
All right. Well, there's only one real place it could have been, right? So it was in... It had to have been in the against the people in the maid's room, right? So he leans down and then gets shot through the right eye because he's leaned down to try to see through it. Easy.
The Derringer was laying in Mizuno's room. So it had to have been set up in her room. It couldn't have killed Kishiru from in the library from her room, though. However, there was a peephole in the library bookshelf connected to her room. If positioned in Mizuno's bookshelf at the peephole, it could have killed him.
What did Tsukishiro try to use from the library to kill Mizuno?
Now, Tsukishiro came to the library to kill Mizuno, but got killed by a trap instead. So he tried to kill her while she was in her room from the library. In order to take aim at her in the next room over, he used something.
Okay. Okay, based on all of these, it's got to be the people from the library side, right? Because he used... I assume he brought a gun, but he was going to use that.
That peephole. I don't know who made it or when. But Tsukishiro appeared to have known about it. So he entered the library intending to shoot Mizuno through the peephole.
What was the switch that activated the trap?
Drawing on everything I figured out, I can feel a theory coming.
So I think it's got to do with the bookmark strings, right? Because if I remember correctly, where did we find the bookmark string? Let's see details. It does not tell me. But I want to say that we found it... We know where we found the book. The book was there. We're going to go with this. Nope. Is it the book?
Seems close, but it wouldn't be enough to be a switch to trigger the trap. Being the trap, it would have to link with his movements.
Okay, so what did he need to do first for that? Let's look more closely on what's written on the piece. All right, is it the book? Okay. On the right track. Don't understand why the two can't be put together, but
what did he do with that book? What did he do with the book? He took the book off the shelf, right? So he could get to the peephole. He tried to look for Mizuno through the peephole to shoot her. There would be a book blocking the hole, so he would have to move that. He would put his eye up to the hole as he pulled the book. But the book was the switch, so he was shot in the eye. Alright, how are the trap, trigger, and the gun connected? That's going to be the bookmark string. Is that what the trap was? The book that was the switch and the gun still haven't been linked yet. Why would pulling the book fire the gun? I will say, if they could give me all of the questions, I definitely could have avoided that issue, but something was connecting the book to the gun. That's going to be the bookmark string. The bookmark string left in Mizuno's room. The bookmark string in the book was tied to the trigger of the gun. The end being tied into a loop is also proof of it. The bookmark string used as the trap switch is very short and is cut. This was the marker from that book. Got it! From these testimonies, the conclusion that we can draw is this. All right, we have some evidence for it. I've got it. I know the type of trap that killed Kishiru. Great. Let it out then. Let's hear your elegant theory. After leaving the greenhouse, Kishiru entered the library via the window. And to look through the peephole to Miss Mizuno's room, he went to pull out a book. However, that book was the trigger to set off the killer's trap. The marker from that book was connected to the gun in the other room through the hole. I feel like I'm playing Danganronpa again with this, so. That gun, the Derringer, was set flush with the other side of the hole. And when Kishiru pulled the book, the marker string pulled the trigger and the bullet was fired, hitting Kishiru. He got hit in the right eye just as he was trying to peer into the peephole. That is the truth behind this case. There's no way. No! 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 Ah! This was it. This was my chance to trap Mizuno. Man, you didn't even make it fun. This man, he tried to make Mizuno out to be the culprit knowing it wasn't her? Of course he did. I see. If someone were to look into the hole, they would be killed. But the problem is, who did it? I mean, he just confessed, so. Who was it that set the trap? The gun was set up on the maid's bookshelf, right? Then the answer is clear. The culprit must have been. Yeah, it had to have been Mizuno. No, it wasn't me. So you're saying that you were in that room not knowing there was a trap in it? Yes, I had no idea, really. It's the truth. I don't think it's too hard to believe she didn't notice. The peephole was hidden between two books. So, you side with her not setting the trap then? The neutral witness sure is siding with one person a lot. I think she would be the most suspicious from an impartial perspective. No matter how you look at it, it had to be Mizuno. I'm only saying that it could have been anyone that set the trap up. I don't think it's fair to trying to make Miss Mizuno out to be a scapegoat. That is a good point. Anybody could have set it up while she was out of the room. I don't accept it. She set the trap. Someone cast her out now. I won't give any of the inheritance to that woman. Damn. Yoichi! He's fine. I didn't hit him that hard. However, how are we to continue the meeting? Let's adjourn the second Kukuri family inheritance meeting here. The third Kukuri family inheritance meeting shall start an hour earlier tomorrow. After all, the time limit is tomorrow at 12. Let's begin an hour before that. Well then, let's break for now. The second Kukuri family inheritance meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
All right. We made it. It was a little rough, but we did make it, so we'll take it.
With that, the second Kukuri family inheritance meeting was adjourned. I've gathered a greater part of what happened here, but the one who carried out Tsukishiro's murder is still a mystery. Who could have. Glancing at everyone standing up, I sat there unable to move for a bit, and I came to find myself alone in that hall.
You did great, May.
To think you actually have a knack for detective work.
Maybe I do have a knack for it. We're not giving God credit for shit.
True. When God's trial is over, maybe I should quit being the founder and be a detective. The sound of a door sliding shut. Miss Mizuno, what is it?
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Were you speaking with someone?
No. Himeru and Mikotoru seem to have hidden themselves.
Oh, that's a relief. Yeah, I don't need to defend them for murder.
But still, the meeting was rough. It seemed like everyone was out to get you.
But you stuck up for me till the end. Why would you do that for me?
I'm not sure. I don't even know myself. But the words just flowed out of me naturally. I couldn't just stand there and let it happen. You seemed like you would start confessing even though you didn't do it. Then the one that should be confessing would have gotten away with it. That would be unforgivable. I see. I couldn't allow it. The person that killed me just going on with life with no consequences. The most likely culprit? Kishiru Inugami.
But for someone like me...
Can you stop the someone like me thing? Don't deny the truth just because of someone like me. It doesn't matter to whom it is. You should express yourself. Status or environment are irrelevant. You are no different from them. Right?
But someone like me...
You said it again.
Really? It seems putting myself down has become a habit.
Take more pride in yourself. Fight this absurd situation.
You've also been fighting, haven't you?
And I'm still fighting now.
What's absurd is being murdered and coming back so incomplete.
Shut up.
Is someone there?
No, I meant that the world needs to shut up. Anyway, would you mind spending some time with me?
Spending time with you?
I still don't know who the murderer was that set the trap in your room. I'd like to look around Kiyomasa's room to flush them out.
Oh, I see. Of course.
Huh? The culprit would have sneaked into Kiyomasa's room to steal the gun. They might have left some clues behind. So please help me with the investigation.
But for someone like me too. Okay. I used to frequently go into the master's room, so I might notice if anything's different. The room is this way. I will lead you there.
Thank you. I still don't fully trust her. I want her to be the murderer because I like her. I want her to have all set this up. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but now you know what I want.
This is an investigation, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a little nervous. This is my first investigation.
Is there anything different than it used to be? Did this man just live with a bunch of guns? Like, what is this room?
No, not yet. Everything's the same.
All right. Let's take some looks around. This desk drawer is locked. Where could the key be? I need to look for it. Mizuno looks like she has something to say. Maybe snapping on Mizuno's piece will help provide some help. A globe. The Earth sure is round and vast. An old picture. It's of a young woman. Maybe his wife that passed? She looks kind of like Mizuno.
Is that why? Like, this is his actual daughter?
A counter to the end of the world. Is everyone that eager for the end of the world? An unbelievable amount of guns. This must be the collection Yoichi mentioned. There are a lot of difficult books, many about economics, chemistry, botany. Okay. This book is The History of Sacrifices Part 2. Long ago, the country aiming to maintain global harmony. Sacrifices have already been mentioned, but are these the sacrifices Mikotoru was talking about? A bed. This must be where Kiyomasa slept.
Okay. Seems normal.
There's medical equipment left out. Kiyomasa must have used it.
Okay, so clearly they owned that.
Seems like she's looking around for anything that might be unusual.
Alright, well. Guess we'll snap on that drawer then.
Desk drawer is locked.
Okay, I don't have anything.
Where could the key be? I need to look for it.
Mizuno looks like she has something to say. Maybe snapping on Mizuno's piece. What does snapping on Mizuno's piece mean? She's not talking to me. Seems like she's looking around for anything that might be unusual. What does that mean?
Old picture. It's of a young woman. Let's snap on this. Do you know this woman?
I've heard it was the master's late wife. She passed long before I started working here, so I've never met her. They got married before the master became successful. He was poor, and it was hard on her, so to thank her, he was diligent with his work. Yet, despite his success at work, she passed away.
Is that so? The woman in the photo is dressed fairly modestly. So he was frantically making money for her. But his wife's death turned the means into the end, and he spun out of control. And that might have led to the illegal tobacco growing and smuggling.
Oh, tobacco, not marijuana, sorry. Okay, let's take a look at the collection.
The revolver Kishiru tried to use and the derringer from the trap were taken from here then.
Yes, most likely. Only the master had an interest in them. They scared me, so I stayed away too. So I didn't notice they were missing.
Okay. Difficult books. I mean, he was a smart dude, so. History of sacrifices. Let's.
Sacrifices were made over a long period. Without the nourishment of sacrifices, the earth will rot and the sun will burn out. Devout followers would volunteer to be sacrifices for the world and the founder. Their ancestors had sacrificed themselves for the earth, so they too had to do the same. In other words, the country was built on mass sacrifice. Fun! Becoming a sacrifice was considered an honor in the society. The dead were honored and their bodies piled up at the city center. They were the world's cornerstones. This tradition continued for 30 years until the world stabilized. The bodies piled up to form a large, human-shaped statue, the symbol of glory.
That's made out of bodies? I had to have read that wrong.
Glory, honor, pride. The symbol of glory now towers the city, viewable everywhere. Shuten Order's followers hold the utmost respect to those who saved the world. Blessed be the Shuten Order. The symbol of glory is the ominous statue in Central Park, right? So it's made up of the corpses and of the sacrifices. So I did read that right. What the hell? How crazy is the Shuten Order?
Huh?
Miss Mizuno's a follower, and I was the founder. Ugh, or am I the crazy one who can't comprehend it? Alright, we are getting absolutely fucking nowhere in this. Let's take a look at this medical equipment. Kiyomasa used these, yes?
Yes, but they weren't to treat anything. They only monitored his condition. Every night I would use various functions to check and record his benchmark scores.
Benchmark scores? I don't really get it, but maybe it's a term in the medical field? Okay. How about the bed? The bed. This must be where he slept. I don't know why I'm snapping on this, but at this point, I'm snapping on anything. So, according to Mr. Domon, the day he passed, he was strong enough to walk all around the manor.
Yes, I was very surprised too.
He apparently used a medicine he had stashed away, but did you give it to him?
No, I don't know anything about it. Mr. Shiratori said he didn't know either. I tried to accompany him since I was worried, but he said it was unnecessary.
He had been bedridden, but he was suddenly able to walk alone?
It was strange. I had thought that maybe he'd gotten better. But the next day... Oh, now that I think about it, as he was walking, he said some strange things. Things like, I can hear voices and wake up. It seemed like he was talking to himself, so I left it alone.
Could that be related to the strong side effects Domon mentioned? We are not getting anything. I guess let's take a look at the books. Oh, wait, not that one. Let's look at the difficult books. There are also many about guns, trapping, hunting, the death penalty. Scary. Gun collecting appeared to be his hobby, but maybe this was too. A globe. The earth is sure round and vast. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Miss Mizuno, when your case has been solved, where are we going with this? And when all I have going on is taken care of, would you like to go on a trip with the founder that you don't know is the founder?
A trip? Me?
I'm sorry, that must have been pretty sudden. Did I upset you?
No, not at all. I'm sure that was a joke, but Mr. Shimobe, you are quite an interesting person.
Interesting.
But that side of you is also...
Hmm? I still don't know. What does snapping on Mizuno's piece? Like, what am I missing here? Are you eager for the end of the world too?
Huh? Well, yes. I don't think there's a single member of the Order in this country that isn't. Blessed be the Shuten Order.
So even Mizuno thinks like that. The Shuten Order's scary. I think I have looked at everything in this room. What am I missing? Am I supposed to snap on something that she says? I can't snap on this, so... Okay, so we talked about the gun collection. We talked to Mizuno. We looked at
those and both of those. We looked at that and that and that and that. Okay, we're looking it up. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing here. And I'm still at 0%. Alright. Let's get to the right area. Alright.
Mr. Shimobe, I thought it might be out of place, so I didn't say anything, but
I don't know how I was supposed to connect that with her feeding the koi.
that drawer isn't locked. It just sticks.
How does that have to do with you feeding the koi at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Is that so?
I'm sorry. I thought I would get yelled at for speaking out of turn.
How sad. How poorly must she have been treated up till now? Getting yelled at over everything is how you wither away like this. No, thank you for telling me. So, how do we open it?
Right, the master would lift up the desk like this.
It opened.
Was I of some help?
Of some help. I would have given up without you.
Thank you. No, I apologize I didn't say anything sooner.
What are you talking about? I should have asked. Alright, the contents then.
It's the master's journal. He often wrote in it when I started working here.
I wonder if it's okay to read it.
He's a dead man. Like, we're not going to get consent. So,
It bothers me a little, but it's for the investigation. That doctor came for that drug today too. He demands a lot despite being no help. The doctor's been trying to get me to say how I make that drug. He could never wrap his head around what's happening in that greenhouse. That drug, is it not the tobacco? Is there still some secret with the greenhouse? I can feel myself weakening. To think I would get this frail. It's probably the drugs I've made, but they allowed me to achieve wealth. However, handing over that treasure to my sons after death is worrying. Is there any way I could change inheritance laws? I'll have to ask Inugami. I was told changing the law wasn't possible, but he did suggest a will. I see, that's a good idea. Now I can stop worrying. But what would Yori think? I can never be grateful enough for her.
oh.
The character try was written in deep red on the next page. So we have Re, Tre, and Shun. Retribution? Are we about to see a boo? What is this? Miss Mizuno, do you have any idea what this is?
I'm not sure. It is the master's handwriting, but it feels like it has some sort of grudge imbued in it. Maybe I did something to make him resent me.
No, he only wrote with gratitude when talking about you.
Master. Uh, Master.
She must be flustered after seeing that disturbing page in Kiyomasa's diary. Kiyomasa probably wanted you to receive the inheritance. So be proud. Accept it. I'll watch over you, so let's go tomorrow together.
Uh, okay.
Yoichi, please reconsider. Yoichi! Was that voice Miki Kukuri? It sounded like it came from the garden. Let's go see what's going on. Yoichi, open this now! Is something the matter? Oh, the phony detective. Yoichi said he's staying in the greenhouse until 11 tomorrow and shut up in there. Because it's safe in the greenhouse. Huh. I see. I suppose that is true. What are you talking about? If anything happened to him, all of the inheritance would go to that foul woman. I couldn't stand that. If that's how it is, then... Stop! Are you mad? If you commit a crime, then the entire inheritance will be taken away. You're right. Thank you. That calmed me down. Anyway, I'm going to wait patiently till tomorrow's meeting. I'm looking forward to it. Inheritance, inheritance. Yoichi's locked up in the greenhouse. I hope nothing happens. The condition for receiving the inheritance is to survive until noon tomorrow. Then, Mizuno might also be in danger. Okay, so what do we do here? We could watch over her, but then we can't do any investigating. And quite honestly, like, don't get me wrong, I like her, but I don't necessarily care about her receiving the inheritance. I do care if she dies. But if I only reassure her, the problem is that this is what Yoichi is saying. And Miki is clearly on his side. So, because of that, I don't necessarily trust that it's not going to be a trap. Right, that they're going to say, oh, Yoichi's in the greenhouse, only for him to leave, right? That is going to be his alibi. And because we know that he can leave through the back, there's going to be no real way to verify whether or not he leaves. I just don't know about watching over her all night. Because if we don't, and someone gives a crack at her life, Miss Mizuno, I'll keep watch outside your door for the night. So you try not to worry and get some sleep.
I couldn't accept that. I don't want to be a burden.
I'm just sitting in the hall for a few hours. I've experienced far worse. Don't worry about me.
Thank you. I'll take you up on your kindness then. Please, watch over me.
My prince. Huh?
It's nothing. Nothing.
Because here's the thing. If she is also the culprit, then we'll be right there. Night is quite long. And of course, whenever I'd like to have someone to talk to, those two are gone. Anyway, once tomorrow's meeting ends, I can get back to the real problem. There shouldn't have been any need to get caught up in this unrelated case at all. I don't have time for this. What am I doing here?
Please, watch over me.
That may be all the reason I need to be here. That made me happy. Maybe even my hollow self can be of use to others. I don't want to lose anything else. I'm going to overcome tomorrow and get myself back. For sure. All right, 7 a.m., January 4th. 165 remaining until the end of the world. Huh? Oh, close one. I was about to fall asleep. I can stay up. Plus, the sun's starting to come up. Somebody! Help! Someone help! Was that Mr. Domon?
Who was...
Miss Mizuno. Thank God, you're safe.
I'm fine. But was Mr. Lamone just yelling something?
It came from the garden. Let's go take a look. Mr. Domon, what's the matter? Mr. Detective, someone needs to help. It's Yoichi. Or what appears to be Yoichi has collapsed in the greenhouse. Let's go check. It won't open. That's why I was checking with this ladder. And I saw...
It won't open. The door seems to be locked.
This hasn't ever happened before. Why would it now? We're going to have to pry it open. Mr. Domon, do you have any tools that can help? If we can get this between the doors, let's try it. It opened. Is he dead? Did he not survive? Oh. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think he's dead. Oh, damn. Yoichi? How many is this now? What's really interesting is that he's been killed very similarly to us. I can't tell if his legs are actually cut off, but like his arms and head being extracted, like, interesting. How many is this now? The shivering legs, the bone dry throat, the ringing like an alarm. It's a dead body. Once again, I lay eyes on a deceased person. Okay, so he still got his legs, so... Oh no. Is it Yoichi? No, that can't. The response was reasonable. At a glance, no one would have thought it was Yoichi Kukuri. The body was scattered around the foot of the goddess statue. Both arms were severed, and the head had come clean off. It glared at me, laying in the middle of the greenhouse, with a look of spite. What happened? Goodness, he certainly seems dead. Yeah, I'll give you that. Though you don't need a doctor to tell you that. Hey, what is going on here?
Yoichi? Oh,
Yoichi's wife! It's alright. She'll recover in time.
I will see to her. Mr. Domon, please carry her back to the manor.
Got it. Everyone, please get no closer to the scene of the crime. Rude Shimobe, are you ready? What? You're going to investigate, correct? Oh, right. It's a little late to try to run from this now. If I give up now, I'll lose everything and be reduced to ash. I need to face this. I need to be the one behind the... I need to face the one behind the Kukuri Manor murders. I do not need to be the one behind it. We're only like an hour and some in. I shouldn't be doing those already. I will assist you, of course. Letting this go would be a slight to the ministry. Then let us begin, Mr. Great Detective. We have to be quick with it. The third inheritance meeting begins in just 3 hours. Nobody will be satisfied with the succession if the culprit is left on the loose. We have to find evidence and the one responsible before the meeting begins. All right. There is a ton to look at. All right, so let's just start with the body. Yep, that's a body. Something's on the ground next to the body. Oh, what could that be? Something of Yoichi's. Let's look inside. Lipstick with a broken cap, a cracked compact, some medicine, and other cosmetics. Judging on the content, this belonged to a woman. I'd agree. Do you have any idea who this belonged to? I'm gonna guess it's Miki. I don't know that I can snap on that, though. No. This is horrible. Both arms and his head have been severed. His legs are still intact, so I suppose it's not quite how I was, but a dismembered body.
Let's snap on that. That seems important.
Why dismember the body? Would it be to make it easier to move?
Or maybe to make it more difficult to identify. I mean, I don't think either of those are it, maybe.
That's quite good reasoning. It's rather refreshing. But neither of those seem to work for this case. Only the arms and head were severed. The body would still be heavy and hard to move. His face is intact, making him identifiable. We were able to tell it was Yoichi, right? We should assume the dismember one was for some other reason. Perhaps we should leave that for now.
Okay. I don't understand what I can lose trust for and what I can't, but
It's the goddess statue in the middle with the greenhouse armed with a sword and a shield.
I want to snap on the sword, not the shield.
I only thought of it as a decoration up till now, but looking down on the body, sword in hand, it looks more like a demon than a goddess. The statue seems different from before. This iron sword, it was being held straight up before. For some reason, it's being held horizontally.
Are we not going to mention the blood on it?
Upon a closer look, the blade has bloodstains on it. Why would there be... Could this sword have been the weapon used to kill Yoichi? If all other possibilities are ruled out, however unlikely, what's left is the truth. Shimobe, climb up there and see if you can take the sword.
Okay.
Even if I hide, I can reach it, but I can't. It can't be separated from the statue. I see. So it's attached to the goddess's arm, then. That's all, then. Thank you for trying. I can't see a possible murder weapon other than this, but it does appear to be quite sharp for a mere decoration. Looking closer at this, though the sword swung down, the side facing its ceiling has bloodstains on it. Why the edge facing the ceiling? Shouldn't it be the other way around?
All right. We have the sword.
Outside of Yoichi's blood, there are no traces left on the ground either. Even the blood is only found by the body. There's no trace of it being wiped up either. Yoichi was likely killed where his body lies. And that's about all I know.
Okay, makes sense.
The security camera. We may be able to see someone coming and going from that. I really doubt the culprit would be unaware of the camera, though. Let's check the footage anyway. This is yesterday at roughly 4:30 p.m. Yoichi entered the greenhouse to protect himself. Miki tried to stop him, and I happened across her making a scene.
Okay. So we have a timestamp.
There isn't anything shown after 4:30.
Wouldn't we be on there?
But could that be? The time could be off. The camera itself could also be broken. It's good to be suspicious of everything, but I do think this can be trusted. You're just looking in the wrong place.
Okay, well. Why wouldn't we be on there? Like, we were literally at the door.
So up to the time of the crime, nobody entered or left the greenhouse.
Okay, makes sense.
When Mizu and I came over after hearing Domon, this door was locked from the inside and couldn't be opened. So we had to pry it open. We only found the body within. The culprit was nowhere to be seen. There are no exits other than this door.
Okay, are we talking with or without the lighting system? I'm still pissed about that.
It's a sealed room.
It's not, though. I don't have anything to say there, so.
Open using this handle in power outages and when the lighting system is active. Neither of those are applicable this time, so why was the door locked then?
Do I have the lighting system? No. There are no exits other than this door. I mean, we know that. Because the automatic door just swaps around. It's a sealed room. I don't have anything I can say outside of that.
The sturdy walls covering the greenhouse.
I know there are no exits other than the auto door, but...
The tobacco flowers are blossoming beautifully. It's as if they're reaching out to the deceased Yoichi Kukuri. Oh, you seem to be having a hard time of it. Even the great detective tires, I suppose. Inugami, could you please help too?
That hurts. I'm investigating in my own way, too. In my own way.
Well, from what I can tell, what's standing out is the console. There was another way out without being caught on camera like Kishiru did, right? Yoichi's body. What could the cause of death have been? Examining the body is key. Even if we find clues, we should investigate thoroughly. That goddess statue. Is there something different about it from the last time we saw it? Something is on the ground next to the body. Who could it belong to? That door. And under what conditions does the door lock to begin with? That's about it. Good luck with the rest.
Alright, so... This is horrible. Both arms and head have been severed. His legs are still intact.
A dismembered body.
Yep, he is dismembered.
Why
Oh my god. I did this before too. I forgot. That was stupid.
A dismembered body. I can't help but think of that case. Yeah. Well, we can assume this is unrelated to that case. How can you be so sure? The torso's been left behind. With that case, the culprit dismembered the body and took the torso for some reason. That's right. My torso still hasn't been found yet. Why was just my torso taken? Anyway, I can't think about that now. I need to focus on this case. It was the same with Seizo and Tsukijiro, but this one is also quite gruesome. The arms were both severed relatively close to the shoulders. I can't find any other visible trauma.
Okay.
No other visible trauma means he was dismembered alive? We can't be certain, but the dismemberment very well could be the cause of death. The cuts on his clothes and the ends of his arm are all parallel. They would appear to have been severed fairly quickly.
Alright.
Do you have any idea who this belonged to?
I mean, I do. So that's the only thing he's gonna say. So, we'll snap on that.
I've got a bad feeling about this. Could this be... Being that it's at a murder scene, it would be difficult to assume this is unrelated. First, we need to figure out who it belonged to.
Okay, so need to figure out. There isn't nothing after 4:30. Nobody entered or left the greenhouse. It has to be wrong.
Or wait, maybe not. If the lighting system was on and the greenhouse rotated like with Tsukijiro, then someone could have gotten in without showing up on the security footage. Inugami, can we see the lighting system's logs from this console? Sure, there does appear to be a lighting system log option on the screen. But in order to check that, we need the password only the administrator would know. Oh? For some reason, the log is accessible. It would appear that someone used the password to put it in administrator mode. This is quite an opportunity. Let's check the logs.
January 3rd, system start 6:40, end 6:50. Autocorrect 7:20, end 7:30. January 4th, system start 1:30, end 1:40. Autocorrect 2:10, end 2:20.
The log from the third must be when Kishiru moved it. And then it also appears to have been rotated at 1:30 last night. Why would it turn on in the middle of the night? The console can only be operated from the inside, so it would have to have been Yoichi rotating the greenhouse for some reason. Maybe he tried to leave without anyone noticing like Kishiru did. Or perhaps he was letting someone in. So in other words, the culprit. Based off of yesterday's events, I doubt he would let just anyone in. He was pretty worked up. Maybe the lighting system was used for something other than entering or leaving. I can't imagine it was used for the typical lighting in the middle of the night. Is there still some secret with the greenhouse?
Alright, we're getting somewhere. Okay, the door was locked from the inside and couldn't be opened. That's weird.
But why was the door sealed shut in the first place? Would it be because the lighting system was activated? But the lighting system would automatically shut off and rotate the greenhouse back. Then there must be another reason for the auto door staying locked. After all, it's not a perfectly sealed room. From the inside, one could exit by turning the manual handle. There may still be some secret to the greenhouse.
Alright. What else do we have? Anything else on the body?
Is that something in the pocket of Yoichi's pants? Would you be so kind as to check for me? Huh? Me? Fine. There doesn't seem to be anything here. Take a closer look.
Oh my god. Really?
Wait, there's something small. What's this? It's a capsule pill, and it appears to be empty. Capsules typically contain a powder drug, but it could have been taken out already, or it was about to be filled. Also, why would Yoichi have this to begin with? Quite the mystery.
Alright.
The time for the meeting is getting close. Have I checked everywhere possible? No, your work's not finished yet. The darkest place truly is under the candlestick. Look, why don't you check the back of the statue's base? The back of the base? Oh, what is this? This wasn't here yesterday. There truly was a secret exit. I didn't notice a hollowed area in the base when I was tapping on it yesterday. It's most likely covered in a special material to keep it well hidden. So there must be something they really don't want seen then. It's exciting, isn't it? The ladder seems to lead underground. Let's go check it. Wait a moment! The culprit could be waiting for us in there. And that's why you're going first. What? Why? Oh, there's no need to worry. If my suspicions are correct, the culprit's already gone. Really? What should I do? Would it be safe? Can I go down? I feel this should be stupid. Is something the matter? Oh my god. No, I just needed to gather my resolve.
This is so stupid. Why are you having me snap on stuff like this?
There's no time for second guessing. Let's go.
Like, there is a true inconsistency of when this game mechanic is supposed to be used.
Wow. What is this place?
Wow.
To think there'd be such an obviously suspicious place under that greenhouse. From what I can tell, it's some sort of secret research lab.
Wow, this just gets more and more exciting, doesn't it?
What do you think this place is? Let's check those machines. We may just discover something.
All right. Investigation Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Have a look at this. The details for what's being produced here are listed. This is a huge breakthrough. You seem oddly excited. What were they making? A special chemical agent using nicotine as a major component. Okay. Do I have full trust? I do have full trust again. Trying to decide how risky I can be. Nicotine, the stimulant found in tobacco. So special pharmaceuticals were made here using tobacco as a base. Special pharmaceuticals? Most likely. Virus! Oh shit! It's an illegal narcotic that's been circulating amongst the heretics. Recently, a highly refined liquid narcotic called virus has become more mainstream. Shit! That's the drug that has become pretty popular with the heretics. That we know can be in a gas form because we've already done Manji's route. Right. To them, it's some sort of ritual item required to get closer to their god. Virus is supposed to sharpen the body's senses, making one closer to their god. That god is our god, right? No! No! Of course, that god. For us, it's a god worthy of our hatred. Hatred? God is unfathomably selfish, ever toying with our fate. Starts a civilization on whim only to destroy it. Not even the oceans or land are safe. Something that ruins the order of nature. That god. This man has got to know something is going on with us. Like, he's too smart to not have pegged us down already. The Shuten order rose to separate us from that terrible god. What's wrong? Is this not interesting to the liberal private detective? No. Well, the heretics still believe in that god. They pray that the power of God may manifest within them. Well, virus is a shortcut for that. How ridiculous. Wait a moment. So to us, God is heresy? That's a pointless question. To the Shuten order, God is the enemy. Thus, those that believe in God are also the enemy. God is the enemy. Then what was that goddess statue? Are these people heretic worshippers of God? I don't think that's for worship. It's simply an art piece. I hear humanity enjoyed collecting stone statues from ancient mythology. I don't think it's a particularly tasteful practice, but then what's the divine power that I've been relying on up till now? How could God be the enemy? But if God's been the enemy, it's strange that God's trial is a Shuten order trial. You're quite pale. You can rest if you don't feel well. I don't think we have time for that, but no, I'm okay. I don't mind you pushing yourself, but don't knock over any of those drugs. What's being produced here isn't the virus that's being sold. It's undiluted. The 100% pure virus is extremely poisonous. If taken, you'll die long before getting closer to any god. However, to think that this was the rumored virus plant. I finally found it. Alright. And they still have the eyes all over everything, so... What could this poster be? A cross-section diagram of the basement lab? Judging from the diagram, there seems to be an even larger void underneath it. The depth is... what? 2,000 meters underground? I see. So that's it then. Look, the way to open the secret entrance on the statue base is illustrated here. Okay, well... First, there's locking the greenhouse. Then there's lowering the statue's sword. I got it! That's how the lighting system activated. What do you mean? I was wondering why the lighting system would be on in the middle of the night. If that's on, the auto door locks.
So it needed to be on to enter this underground lab.
Right, I see.
So on top of locking the greenhouse, lowering the sword, that sword would act as a lever switch then. Probably, who would have lowered the sword to open the entrance? The question is, who tried coming down here and for what? There's a microscope. I don't have any memory of using one, but it seems nostalgic. The walls are filled with graphs and chemical formulas. Ugh, just looking at these makes my head hurt. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. My boat zigzag, ship's Clark, Scotch Bakuramon. Someone's chanting some sort of spell. I think I'll just distance myself a bit. Are these chemistry-related documents? There's something about zero gravity. Something's on the floor. Just a note? There's something written on the back of it. Is this our boo? Scarlet writing. I've seen this distinct handwriting somewhere. It's the same as Kiyomasa's journal. It looks like it says boo, but what could it be referring to? Retribution! Okay, so he set it up. Very clearly at this point. They aren't any machines I'm familiar with. I can see some eerily colored liquid in the glass container. Must be a machine for making pharmaceuticals. The main machine for drug production. The screen's displaying an error. The attempted production failed, it would seem. Seems important, but let's look around just a little bit more. It's a ladder leading back to the greenhouse. I can't leave until the investigation's over. Could this be the machine mentioned in the file that makes virus? I think that's exactly right. Checking the log, chemical set, okay. Production process, okay. However, it seems that the final step of extraction failed within an hour. Virus was successfully produced, but it failed since it was never taken out? It would appear so. What a waste. Huh? No, it's nothing. Well, it's almost time. Shall we head back to the manor? What do you think, great detective? Have you cracked the Kukuri murders? No, not yet. Of course, the world goes on, even if you don't solve it. Much like how the world went on after the founder left, despite being thought eternal. But I suppose only time will tell for that, too. What? We can speak long on that matter once this case is dealt with. I don't know whether we will. He's letting us get away with too much. I'm very curious what he's going to hit us with at the end. I'm going to head off to prepare for the inheritance meeting. Feel free to continue if you still have things you'd like to check. Sure. You may think differently, but I do like the truth. It's like remembering a dream long given up on. Anyway, I have high hopes for you. It's already past 10. The meeting is at 11. I don't have much time left. The only thing left for me to do is ask around. Now, who to ask? Let's get some testimony. We're going to start with Mizuno.
Mr. Shimobe.
Miss Mizuno, could this belong to you?
Yes, that does belong to me. But why do you have it?
I found it in the greenhouse.
The greenhouse? Why would it be there?
You don't have any ideas?
Um, I had noticed it was gone this morning, but
You had it yesterday morning, though.
yes, I'm certain I did. I'm not all that strong, so I take a supplement every morning. I did take it yesterday, but I didn't have my pouch this morning, so I was worried.
Did you go in the greenhouse?
Of course not! I didn't go anywhere near it!
Yeah.
Mr. Shimobe, you have to believe me. I haven't done anything.
Of course. I believe you.
That's a relief. I couldn't bear it if you gave up on me.
There's nothing to be afraid of. It's okay. I'm sure that the truth will save you.
Yes.
All right, well, those were all of my questions. I'll give this pouch back to you then.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Huh?
Is something the matter?
The compact mirror is cracked. My face lotion bottle's also broken. Who would do this?
They were perfectly fine yesterday, right?
Yes.
Perhaps whoever took the pouch rifled through it afterwards. But who would do that? And why? Okay, I think it's got something to do with the fact that the pill was found in his pocket. I don't know what the connection is yet, but I'll figure it out.
Mr. Shimobe?
This piece has to be key in unlocking the truth of this case. It must be.
I hope so. Alright, then I'll take my leave here.
I suppose I'll go ask around a bit longer. Oh. I keep wanting to call her Hinako since we've been playing so much Silent Hill. I know that's not her name. Himeru, Mikotoru, you're there, aren't you? What's wrong? What are you all worked up about? There's something I'd like to ask you both.
What? Ask already! Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Is it really true that I'm the founder of the Shuten Order?
Are you really asking that?
That's not an answer.
You saw that video, right? How the founder looked at last year's greeting? You still think it's not you, even after seeing that?
Okay, but you're still not confirming or denying. I don't trust you. What is God? This is a wild question to ask.
God is God. Do you really need further explanation?
Is the God trying to bring me back actually God? Or is it really some devilish form like from the heathen idols? And if God is, what then?
What?
So then God really is... Calm down. God is God. God appears not like a devil. God looks just as you members do. After all, God created you in his image.
Going by looks alone, I doubt that you'd be able to tell if God was walking among you.
I feel like I'm understanding less and less about what God is. Nate, you don't have time for ridiculous doubts. Whether what is trying to bring you back is God or a devil, if you fail, tomorrow you will be ash. I mean, fair. What's God's reason for this? It's a lie that God's trial is a Shuten Order ritual, isn't it? Since God is an enemy to the Order after all, reviving me has to be some sort of front. What is God really trying to do? Hey now, what are you talking about? Here we are trying to help you. I don't need excuses, just tell me the truth. Why do I need to be brought back? To stop the end of the world. Without your guidance, humanity will end. This is the truth. That's why you need to be revived as the founder. If it's to save mankind, you should do whatever it takes, even heretical rituals. But that doesn't make any sense. The Shuten Order is looking to bring about the end of the world, right? If bringing me back is to stop the end, then that would be against the Order. Am I supposed to betray the Order then? just need to do what you believe is right.
Believed to be right.
Then let me ask this. Do you seek the destruction of the world? Do you wish for humanity to be wiped out? Well, that's what the Order wants. That's what I wanted, right? Nay, I'm asking you, not the founder of the Shuten Order, you. If you feel like you're going down the wrong path, then you can give up here. But if you feel what you're doing is right, you don't have time to doubt. You must keep moving. Well, what are you going to do? There you go, forcing choices on me when I know nothing. I have to move forward then.
Great! I really love that about you.
But when this is all over, you're going to tell me everything. What you are. And what I am. Yeah, of course. For that too, then, it would be best to focus on the task at hand.
Right then, I'll give you some hot info then.
Hot info.
The third son was the first to die, right? We looked over the body. And guess what? The cause of death wasn't the stab wound to the stomach. He was electrocuted.
Electrocuted? How did he get electrocuted on a boat?
The great detective needs to take over from here. Get on with it then.
Okay, bye. Love you. Save me a slice of pie. And they're gone. But to think that Seizo died from electrocution. Alright, I think Inugami's the only one we've got left. And he is very good at saying things easily and out loud. Ah, Neishimobe, we've only just parted. Has something happened? Alright, let's start asking questions. I'd like to hear more about virus if you could tell me anything. I'd like to tell you more, but I'm not exactly an expert on it. Plus, there's still a lot about virus that's unknown. Even its production. Anything anyone had heard about it was like an urban legend. Urban legend? The main rumor was that some special method was needed to make virus. But the truth was made clear looking through that underground lab. To think that the structure of the lab itself is needed for the synthesizing of virus. What does that mean? Now that I think about it, the lab was shaped oddly. Like how the research lab is located above a 2,000-meter underground cavity. Could that be related to virus's synthesization? I think I said that right. Quite right. I think the actual word that they should be using there is just synthesis, but the required method for synthesizing virus is component synthesization in a zero-gravity environment. Zero gravity? That's possible to do at that lab? It's unbelievable. If you looked at the lab, even you should be able to tell it's not impossible. Huh? I still have no... The production machine's log displayed production process okay, right? So you're saying that machine can create a zero-gravity environment? If you doubt it, then why not give it a try? Not that we have time for that. I still have to prepare for the meeting. If you have anything else you need, ask now. It's not about this case, but I was wondering about it, and I wanted to ask you what you know about God. God? You seem quite fixated on that today. I thought that you might know more. Because I'm a minister of the Order? And if that's what you're thinking, then you're mistaken. Even I have much that I do not know or understand. Have you ever seen God? No, I can't say that I have. They say you can see God if you leave the city, but I have zero interest in that. I can't even imagine wanting to leave the city. There's no alcohol or grass. God is outside the city? So if I were to leave the city, I could meet God? You've been living in this city without ever knowing that. I see. There aren't many foolish members who leave these days. The sense of danger has faded. It's also forbidden to leave the city. It's so indisputable now that the rule lost its meaning. It's forbidden to leave the city? Outside is the realm of God. You'll be killed if you try. Killed? Why do you think the Order built up one singular city? To create a safe haven, untouchable by God. I've heard there was a rowdy group that would leave the city to stand up to God. But of course, none of them returned. In the end, God is God. He can't be beaten no matter what the weapon. Thus, we chose to live within our walls in peace. I still feel like I understand less and less about God. You better not even think about leaving the city. With the founder gone, it might be time to revise our laws. Maybe build a giant wall and surround the city. That would keep us safe. Does he not know about the dome then? Or is he just saying this for us? I can't help but wonder, but were you close with the founder? Are you trying to glean some details about the incident with the founder? No, I was just curious. I suppose it's fine. Of course I was close with the founder. To put a name to it, good business partners? Believe it or not, I too was once torn between good and evil and almost went astray. Let me tell you a tale from long ago. It's long, but will you listen to it? At the time, I was a detective of justice, and a mistake made me hit a wall. Losing my focus, I fell into feeling powerless and empty. I grew tired of it all. Is that what you were talking about the other day that made you quit being a detective? Right you are. What happened? What was the mistake? I'll tell you some other time. Anyway, I completely gave up on being a detective. My sense of justice and desire to seek the truth wavered. I decided to give in. Give in to darkness. Could that be? I'll leave the details up to your imagination. However, it was just to flesh out the criminals basking in the darkness. Or rather, to find answers unobtainable from the world of light. Perhaps, becoming one of its denizens, I could get closer, that I might see the truth. However I put it, know that I'm not seeking affirmation. Darkness is darkness, and morality is immorality. I chose the path of lawlessness. Then I heard of the Minister of Justice being replaced, among other shocking news. That the minister was a heretic. Huh? The minister that carried out the law was a heretic? That further caused my values to falter. I also thought that maybe what I was doing wasn't so wrong after all. Thus, a certain customer came to me. And who do you think that was? No idea. The founder. What? Me? I was shaken too. The very top of the order had come to see me alone. Not just someone dipping their toes in, but to me, a total outlaw. And he said this to me: I need you to be the new Minister of Justice. Why me? Though young, you're sharp-minded and know this country's doctrines well. On top of all that, you've experienced firsthand the depths of the darkness. I can't think of anyone more fitting, can you? I am a misfit, though. The last minister truly was a just person. In fact, maybe too just, only seeing what was right, not caring about anything else. The fall was instant. Any waver in values or ideals, all sense of justice would go. They were vulnerable to the whispers of the heretics. Whispers of the heretics. That is why one who can accept both light and dark is right for the job. I found that only someone like that can carry the mantle of the Minister of Justice. How ironic. The most suited to be the Minister of Justice is a follower of lawlessness. I refuse. There's something else I need to do. I also have some idea of what it is you're trying to do, as well as what type of person you really are. Uh-huh. I feel that this position could help you achieve what you're seeking. I couldn't keep it up. He saw through my disguise. Disguise? Maybe if things were different, he would have made a good detective. He was quite the person. Warm but strong, bold but calculating. You had no idea what he would do. He would make unpredictable choices. So I decided to believe him. Believe? Believe what? In his ideal. Or maybe the truth that I almost lost sight of? I wanted to believe in it. To me, the founder was a lighthouse shining the way to the truth. So I was gratefully appointed to the position of Minister of Justice. I came to know the law more than anyone, including its holes. I was a delinquent son, but he still trusted me, providing me with highly important roles. So I too trusted him, regardless of what anyone else said. Or trusted him, I suppose. I felt like a hole had opened up after losing him. Him. Inugami has been referring to the founder as him and he this entire time. Now that I think about it, yesterday. I have a hard time around women. I've been lied to by so many women about cases. You reap what you sow, I guess. Anyway, I avoid relationships with women. I'm so nervous about women that I inherently get a sense of danger around them.
Not the best behavior, I'm just gonna point out.
He was wary of women, but close with the founder. Maybe he just never suspected that the founder was a woman? So that's why he never showed any discomfort with me and even helped me investigate. It's not impossible. Not even I was able to tell that I was a woman immediately. But to think that he was mistaken about the founder's gender the entire time. Did the founder not make her gender known?
And we know that she didn't because we've done Teko's route.
Maybe she dared to do so because she was close to God. But I didn't feel he was lying when he said he trusted the founder.
It is also very interesting that the torso went missing. Right? Because if you think about the indicators that will show gender, or not gender, sex, biological sex, those are all going to be found in the torso. Like, women don't have an extra finger or something, right? So I wonder if we're going to find the culprit based off of who knows and shouldn't know.
Maybe Kishiru Inugami wasn't the one that killed me. But Himeru said that the divine power is never wrong. Oh, wait. Something wrong? What's with the scary look? Oh, okay. You're running on fumes. Shall we go take a break? He just said it himself. He was on the path of lawlessness. He claimed to have no problem breaking the law to carry out his purpose. Then even killing the founder he so respected. This man is a con artist. I can't let my guard down. Are we just about finished? I still have preparing to do. Yes, I'm going to head back to my room for a bit. It's already this late. I need to head to the hall.
That's where I just left, but
The clock strikes 11. At last, the final inheritance meeting is to begin. Inheritance. Murder. Virus. And God. There are so many unsolved mysteries, but even still, time goes on. I really hope it ends without incident. Please.
excellent. So we'll end here at the meeting day 3. We have no one left from the family unless you count Mizuno. Unless you have that conspiracy theory with me. And yeah, thanks so much for hanging out.
We'll be back soon.